They'd been building these Bulldogs, bit by bit, piece by piece. They've been establishing their premiership credentials. Dangerous attack, obvious attacking flair.
Cooney, you're taking from here and kicks it.
Solid defence, a versatile, rugged defence. Contested football, they can win the hard ball. Leg speed, and can cut you up with leg speed. Ruckman, they've got good ruckman. Experience, essential experience. X factors everywhere.
Cooney swings it back. What a goal that was.
Hunger, and after a series of near misses, the hunger burns deep within. Key forward, but until now, they've never had this. A hulking, bruising, goal-mouthed giant.
The dream start. Oh, of course it is. The goal ball. Oh, he's won it. Oh.
The real deal remains months away. For September is what it's all about. But tonight, we'll find out whether these dogs believe, really, truly believe, whether or not they belong among the big boys.
The Western Bulldogs haven't got much to show for their 85 years in the competition. 1 premiership, 4 pre-season titles, the last one a staggering 40 years ago. Is tonight the start of something big in 2010? Do the Doggies really believe that their time has come? The Saints, well, their record is pretty much identical. 1 Premiership Cup and 4 pre-season titles. On the last Saturday in September 2009, they came agonisingly close to again achieving the ultimate success. Is this finally their year? Both teams want to make a big statement tonight. Hello and welcome to Etihad Stadium. It's the NAB Cup Grand Final. It's the Western Bulldogs versus St Kilda. I don't know about you, Rob, but I reckon this is going to be a fantastic game of footy.
I think it will too, Quarters. We've got 2 very good teams playing. I think with Geelong, they're the best 3 teams in the competition. And we saw in that lead up there the credentials for the Bulldogs. They've just about ticked off so many boxes. And do they have the belief that they can win a Premiership Cup? Their cupboard is pretty bare out there with the Bulldogs. I've got a feeling that they will give it absolutely everything tonight. It's a big night for the Bulldogs.
I was going to ask you, what does it mean to them tonight? I mean, is it super important they win or not?
I think it is, because if they lose, there'll be big question marks hanging over each of them.
Already?
Everyone will be saying, well, they're close enough, but they never can quite finish the job off. Last 2 years, they played in preliminary finals and have been beaten. Got a chance to win a Premiership Cup tonight. Don't forget, Geelong won the Premiership Cup last year in the NAB Cup, then went on to win the big one, of course.
So did Carlton a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I just think this team has got themselves set for tonight. And that man in picture, how important has he been?
10 goals in 2 matches. Is he the Messiah or just still a very naughty boy?
Oh, I think he'll be terrific for them. Looks like he's got his mind set, and they're playing him at full forward. We don't see Barry Hall running up to the wings as we did when he played for Sydney, and I think anchor him at full forward, he'll deliver.
The big question for me for St Kilda, can they sustain that unbelievable intensity they had right throughout 2009?
They were amazing. They played with an intensity, the pressure that they put on the opposition when the opposition had the ball. We hadn't seen it before. Other teams are copying the Saints, trying to copy the Saints with that sort of pressure. We're having a look at some shots here from last year's Premiership loss. They thought they had it, they didn't. They kicked themselves out of the game. So close, and yet they didn't get it. And that really hurts them. It'll stick in their throat for a long, long time.
We're going to take a break from Etihad Stadium. When we come back, we'll look at the teams and we'll get into the action. It's the NAB Cup Grand Final, the Saints against the Dogs. This time last week, Etihad Stadium, well, look, it was apocalyptic. There was hailstorms. There's still a lot of damage here at the stadium from last week's incredible hailstorm on Saturday afternoon, but it's looking a picture. And I've got to say, the crowd is absolutely magnificent. It's building up. It won't be a full house, but I think we'll get, well, maybe close to 40,000 people here tonight, and rightly so. This is going to be a great game of football between St Kilda and the Western Bulldogs for the NAB Cup 2010. It's time now to go to, for the national anthem, to AFL's MC, Craig Willis.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now invite you to stand and join with Sivilu Answorth and Rishabh Shrivastava to sing the Australian National Anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, our beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
It's a very good evening to former Western Bulldogs champion. Just a little bit toey tonight, Luke Darcy.
Yes, good evening to you, Quarters, and a little bit excited would be the way I'd describe two great sides. And this lineup here, Quarters, is just about as good as it gets for the Western Bulldogs. Brad Johnson, the captain, the only player who'd slotted into the forward line. But as a starting 18, they've got everyone that is available out there. The defence is really looking solid. Big opportunity, Tom Williams on the interchange bench for him tonight. Looking forward to seeing how he goes. And of course, Barry Hall in the goal square. What a start it's been for him.
Michael Christian, wouldn't you love to be lining up in Barry Hall tonight, being a former champion defender?
Wouldn't that be great? Good evening, Quarters. Good evening, everyone. Looking forward to this. And Nick Revolt, Brendan Goddard back in this St Kilda side certainly strengthens it. Their forward line is outstanding. Their midfield is great, even in the absence of Lenny Hayes. Zach Dawson will probably have the job on Hall. Needs to stand up.
All right, ready? Western, yep, Nick's. Heads is the call. Ahead it is. Giddy up.
Giddy up, says Razor Ray. Been watching too much Seinfeld. Now to Mark Howard. I've got to say, Howie, gee, you've almost fading away, mate. Where have you been? Are you okay?
2 weeks in India, living on a diet of naan bread and nothing else, Steve, and it sorts out the best of it. It's a beautiful night down here at the stadium. There's not a cloud in the sky. Still currently 25 degrees. The ground itself, though, well, Archie Thompson, the victory striker, said during the week it's a bit like a cow paddock. It is a little bit rough. They're going to resurface it, though, before the season starts. You boys briefly mentioned Barry Hall. There's about 4 young fellas behind me in the crowd. They are all saying to their dad, "Dad, which one's Barry? Which one is Barry?" He is the new cult hero here. And Nick Rewalt, you think I look skinny. He looks about 8 times as big as me. He's not wearing any bandages, nothing on the arms, nothing on the legs.
Good on you, Howie. Hope he's got heavy shoes on tonight. I might get blown away. Are we all tipping the Bulldogs?
I'm going for the Bulldogs, Quarters, and I just think that they've been cherry ripe through this NAB Cup series. You look into the Bulldogs forward line and there are stars everywhere. There's 2 of them, Ackermanis and Barry Hall. You've got Robert Murphy down there, young Higgins, who's going to be a champion, Gian Siracusa, who's captain tonight, Mitch Hahn, who's as hard as they come, and it's just a really nice setup that they've got there, and they can all kick goals. I don't think Barry Hall, Luke, is expected to kick 70 or 80 goals this year. If he can get his 45, 50 and then make way for other players to come through and give them the confidence, I think that's his role, and I'm glad they're playing him at full forward.
Absolutely, Rob. They were the #1 scoring team last year in the competition versus the #1 defence. They don't need Barry to stand up and kick 6 or 4 or 5 goals every week. Great if he can, but the great thing about him, he's a team-orientated player. He does clear space and he will take some pressure away. The prelim final, Quarters and Chriso, was decided by 7 points. The Bulldogs got inside 50 57 times when the Saints normally average only 40, so that'll be the key tonight. Can they get through that zone?
So ready for a start here. Zach Dawson's picked up, Paul. There's the skipper for St Kilda. What a champion he is, Nick Revolt.
And he started way out on the wing. In fact, he's closer to the half-back flank, Nick Revolt.
5 times the best and fairest winner now for the Saints. It'll be McAvoy against Hudson. Beautiful tap by McAvoy. Here's Del Santo, fired it out to McAvoy. Handball to Gilbert. Now Schneider. First clear possession of the match. Kicks it out into space. It's a beautifully weighted kick to Del Santo. He has a steadying bounce and chips into the pocket. Not a great kick. Into the pocket. Graham's there. Beautiful pick up by Milne. He's had a great NAB Cup so far. Bowled over. Lynch in there for the Saints. And we'll have a stalemate and a bounce. Just 10 metres out from the St Kilda goal.
Interesting matchup for me. There's Barry Hall, and Zach Dawson has got that particular matchup. Saw Zach with a bit of push and shove before the first bounce. He might want to just watch himself.
Chance for McGualter, handball under pressure, taken by Boyd to cross. Hudson at close quarters. Griffin out wide, all Boyd under pressure. Gee, that was great work there from St Kilda forwards, forcing the issue, applying pressure, and in the end, a boundary throw-in resulting.
And great to see the little fella doing that, Stephen Milne. I'd say he's been the player of the NAB series so far.
At the back, Hudson, hands to it, taken though by Revolt, out wide, well done by Harbrow. Ackermanis, well taken high, was he? No, well done by Jones, and eventually Baker feeds it back. Fisher, 60 from goal, kicks in towards the forward line. Here comes Hargrave, and he marks in front of the charging Justin Kazitsky off to Gilby. Now late, deep in the pocket, needs to be clean with this, and he is. Murphy marks at half back for the Dogs.
Back full fitness now for Murphy. He chips it back inside defensive 50 to Hargrave. He'll switch. A driving kick to the outer side's an absolute beauty, right onto the chest of Mitch Hahn. Quick transition for the Dogs. Now the acting skipper for tonight, Jan Siracusa. Got it between wing and half forward. Hall's got the sit here, has got to beat a couple, and he does. Beautiful mark in between two Saints, and Barry Hall will line up for goal, 45 out.
And listen to the crowd, look at the crowd, they are up on their feet. Now this is a terrific mark, you can see he's the man in the middle, and Zach Dawson just lost in front there. Fisher didn't do much to help him out.
Well, he was the man, Rob, he was the man that had to be third up and destroy that ball, Sam Fisher, on that occasion.
Barry Hall, well within his range.
Oh, no.
This is not good.
No, it's not good.
Are you calling for help?
No, I'm recording the footy. Sorted. I had a dream like this once.
Foxtel from Telstra, the clever way to watch TV.
Barry Hall off to the best possible start. First goal of the match. Dogs lead by 6 points. 6 goals in his opening NAB Cup fixture. 4 last week, and already on the board here. So McAvoy wins it down. Boyd does well to control the loose footy. Cooney kicking forward in front. Murphy, should have taken the mark. Wasn't any pressure. Jones. Baker, good tackle, chased down by Hahn. Fisher under pressure, coughs it up to Murphy, who kicks back to a central location. Gilby up, marks brilliantly, on from 55 metres towards Pickett. He couldn't quite get there. Boundary throw in.
It's got an example of the forward pressure. Mitch Hahn's tackle set up this great mark from Lindsay Gilby, but the Saints set the standard last year, averaged 72 tackles a game. The Bulldogs really increased their rating in the pre-season.
Hall tapped it to Griffin, to Higgins. Now across the face was Boyd, and no mark to Peake. Hall attacks it. Dishes out the handball. Here's Ward having a snap. It's across the face. No, it's hit the post.
Gee, Barry Hall involved again. Del Santo doing the kicking in. I think they'd rather Del do it than Zach Dawson.
So he plays on into the back pocket, confronted by Hall, so he gives the handball off to Goddard, who kicks wide, and that was a great kick. Jones had only a metre on Gian Siracusa and was able to take the mark. Jones' short kick is effective. Mark taken by Peake.
2 metres! 2!
Brett Peake crossing from Fremantle.
Move it on.
And the son of the great Brian Peake, as he kicks beyond the wing towards half-forward. Kazitsky up at the back, couldn't take the mark. Hudson at ground level does well, though. Shark by McGualter. Lynch towards Kazitsky. Coming in hard was Cooney. Now Higgins does well. Higgins spins out of trouble. Hudson off to Griffin. Now Boyd on centre wing. Griffin, can he find a target as he kicks to half-forward? Gee, it's St Kilda there, although it spills to Gian Siracusa. A beautiful kick to Murphy. He's got it 48 from goal.
Unselfish, Luke, wasn't it? He could have bombed away, Gia.
Yeah, led up well. They like to honour that lead from Murphy at centre forward. Such an important part of that side that just creates so many opportunities at centre forward. Right on his range, I reckon, Chriso.
Yeah, he thought about passing to Hall there. Elected not to, so he goes back and across to Griffin, who wants to take on Montagna from 55, kicks it high to the top of the goal square. It's awesome, Kilda. Yeah. And McAvoy marks uncontested.
Rodney Eade, Bulldogs coach, would be unhappy with that kick. Just a bomb away, and of course the Saints had numbers back.
Stephen Milne to Fisher, dropped the hot footy. Is he penalised? No, play on. Cooney, cross, back to Cooney. Now Boyd. Looks for Hall. He's got it again. Oh, and he gives Dawson a mouthful too.
You know, Barry Hall's eyes will light up every time a Gian Syracusa, a Gilby, an Ackermanis, a Cross, you name it. They've got that many players who can deliver the ball so well.
Sam Fisher still getting some treatment off the ball. He looks to be okay.
Gee, they look sharp, the Dogs.
Just too conscious on Hall there, Dawson.
So Hall for his second. He's got it.
And he's followed up to Zach.
For a short time, buy any Panasonic Viera Full HD Plasma TV and claim a bonus Blu-ray player and 6-month Quick Flicks voucher. But with only a limited number available, you'd better hurry. Terms and conditions apply.
At the first sign of hair loss, you must act fast. At Ashley & Martin, independent clinical trials prove that 98% of our patients successfully regrow more hair. So call today and enjoy the confidence tomorrow.
Well, 2 goals to Barry Hall, and this was immediately after kicking his second goal.
Well, Quarters, the background to this, I saw Zach Dawson before the first bounce just put the forearm to the back of Barry's head a couple of times. Now, I'm not sure how smart that is to rattle the cage of Barry.
No, that is dead set dumb.
Del Santo from the centre towards half forward. Good positioning there by Williams. God, that was great from Hargrave. Got it to Ward. And Ward now switches the plate dangerously. Cross is able to keep his feet. Oh, gee, handball wasn't great. To Moles, off to Harbrow. He did well. Finds Eagleton. Eagleton normally uses it well. Finds Ackermanis. First time we've seen him really in the game. Onto the left quickly. At the back. Hill to the front. Awesome Kilda. Ray shares it with Dawson. Now Goddard from the back pocket chips. And the mark's taken at half back by Jason Blake.
Blake to Peak to Montagna. On centre wing. Kicks to Milne. Back to Montagna to half forward. Here's an opportunity for the Saints through Geary. Can't grab hold of the footy. Moles mops up. And the Dogs away again. Gian Syracusa, not a lot on offer. Somehow manages to thread the eye of the needle to Morris. Long, Dawson in front of Hall. Hall gets rid of Dawson, and here's a chance for Barry again. Plenty of room to move. He goes for goal! Across the face and kicks a point.
Zach Dawson cannot afford to go to ground. That's a cop-out when you go to ground in a contest like that.
So this is before the bounce, Wolsey, and might have missed the... just a couple before that. There was one to the back of the head as well. I think Barry just saying...
Well, they are tentative touches, Luke.
He's staying a good arm.
He's smarter than I thought he was.
Yeah. Arm's length, Rob. As the ball comes to centre wing, that was a poor kick. And it's all the Bulldogs. Cross to Gilby. Beautiful kick to centre half forward. Moles takes them on. Jones, good tackle. Off to Higgins. 40 from goal. Ackermanis now. They're under pressure, so he feeds it back to Big Will Minson. Wide. Gian Syracusa, good pressure from Revolt. Now Murphy. So well done, St Kilda. They've forced the Dogs back here. Murphy hoists it high. Not sure about that. They need someone to step up to the plate. Hargrave almost did. Schneider, Goddard threads the handball. Ray. And a short kick is effective. Mark taken by Gilbert. Still inside defensive 50.
They've got heaps of numbers back, the Saints, at the moment. And consequently, the Bulldogs just couldn't find any space. They just chip it around. King's got it in the middle of the ground.
Nathan, stay out.
A little bit of damage control here from St Kilda. Another little short one of the marks taken by Armitage.
Patient build-up this by the Saints, and this is the way they play.
Not a good kick. Straight down the throat of Hargrave, who had an excellent 2009. Now he goes short to Cross, to Higgins.
Play on.
They are looking to play on the doggies every time they get a mark or free kick.
And he switches to the outer side. Graham couldn't take the mark. Eagleton to Ackermanis from a standing start. Pops it up towards Hall against Dawson. And a free kick against Hall.
And Barry had some trouble with this particular rule that came in about 18 months ago. If you touch the hands in the back at Sydney, first time I've seen him give one away so far in the pre-season. So he's just got to keep his hands down. He'll give away a free kick every time.
Schneider short to Baker. St Kilda just trying to maintain possession at the moment, trying to find a way through, trying to get themselves back into the game. Blake, oh, look out. That's a great attack on it by Picken, but Blake did brilliantly to stand his ground. Now Armitage links with Goddard. Little give over the top is okay. Smith, kick towards half forward. Out comes Kazitsky. Well done on the bounce, but good pressure. That was superb stuff from Callan Ward.
Gee, was he overly aggressive there, Kazitsky, with the tackle? Some Bulldog fans think that he was. They haven't got the ball in their forward 50 for 10 minutes, St Kilda. Have a look at this tackle. Slamming a player into the turf, that's borderline.
Boundary throw in half forward for the Saints.
The two ruckmen wrestle each other out of it. Cooney in tight. The handball to Higgins. Wasn't a good option there. Saints get it back. Montagna squeezes the handball to Del Santo. Throws it on the boot to the tip of the goal square. Oh, good mark by Lake. Strong. Gilbert cut off the pass. Keeps the football alive. But not for long. Puts it out of bounds on the full. Good attempt by Gilbert. As Hall has a break, it's the Dogs by 14 points.
Ryan Lake's got a pretty good record on Justin Kazitsky. Played on him twice last year, just the one goal conceded.
Gee, the foot skills are good by the Bulldogs.
Picken. Oh, gee, and Everett's found about 25 metres on his nearest opponent. Can he use the football well? He goes long. Minson in front. Here's Murphy. Now a quick kick out by Hill. Across the face. Griffin concedes some territory and does it well. Cooney should go back and have a shot at goal.
Really is the way to beat the zone against St Kilda. You have to play on. You've seen the Bulldogs almost blindly every time they get the foot. It doesn't matter if there's three Saints around. They'll play on, they'll kick, trying to get past the numbers that are back. And at the moment, they're doing it pretty well. And they did last time they played in the prelim final. They got inside 50 more times, 57, which is 17 more on average than the Saints conceded all year last year.
Well, at the moment, it's 9 inside 50s to 2.
Adam Cooney for the Dogs third. Down to Mark Howard.
This game at ground level, boys, being played at enormous intensity. Fisher, we saw him with a slight problem with his knee. Looks like he hyperextended it early in the game. He went straight off with quite a heavy limp down to the rooms. And can I just say, the anticipation when the ball goes into the Dogs forward line and Barry Hall is on the lead, it is very, very exciting.
St Kilda work it out. Thanks, Howie. But the poor kick from Gilbert is marked by Gilby. On centre wing, he's got an option inside the centre square. Higgins, who's intent on playing on, switch across the ground. Harbrow needs a favourable bounce, gets one from 55, kicks to a vacant goal scorer. Has it got the carry? Hit the post. So exciting again by the Bulldogs. Their foot skills being able to switch the play to a player in an advantageous position. And a cough up here, a chance again for the Dogs. Eagleton, Hill, Cooney. Oh, wild handball. Off towards Boyd, who snaps with the outside of the boot, but mark taken by Gilbert on the last line.
Don't even look like scoring at the moment, St Kilda. Can't even get it in their attacking half, the ground.
Nick Revolt, one handball.
Well, it just hasn't been down there. 10 inside 50s to Bulldogs, 2 to St Kilda.
Montagna trying to get something started here to Dawson. Now what's Sack going to do with it? He's in two minds. He's clean with his pass. He finds Gilbert.
Oh, that's pressure. That's expecting the pressure and the spoil to come. Montagna dropped the sitter.
John Siracusa at centre half forward as the Saints again push numbers back deep. Long kick by Boyd. Fist from Gilbert. Oh, hacked out of mid-air by Everett. Well, they're pressing and pressing and pressing the Dogs, and in the end, Everett made something out of nothing. Great goal.
And Will Minson did all he needs to do on this occasion. You can see, Rob, your call's right. That's a bit of perceived pressure there. And he took his eye off the footy line, Montagna. So Boyd's got no choice but to go long. Now, Will, don't give away a free kick. Just make sure you give a contest. And then it's a dangerous ball. And Everett, well, I'm not sure they'll ever do that again, Rob. But
well, let's say this, Luke. Andres Everett, there was talk that he might leave the Bulldogs. I'm so glad that he didn't, because I think this kid could be anything. He's got bigger and stronger, and he can play anywhere. He's really got the perfect build for today's AFL player. He can play half back, half forward. He can take a turn in the midfield as he builds his motor, and it just showed with that he can think, and he's got great skills.
Yeah, great goal. McAvoy fighting hard at ground level. Griffin did superbly. Gilby, quick kick out of the congestion, wide. The race is on. Graham will get there first. Little handball to himself, and then paddling. And ball stays in. Good tackle coming there from Picken, and they turn it over. No, the boundary umpire. Well, it's a late call, but he wants to throw it in. Does the boundary umpire?
He wants to get into the action.
He wants to. Feeling a bit left out there, Rob.
Big throw, son.
Well, it's a beauty too. Hudson takes it out. Oh, that's dangerous. Dubious looking handball. Griffin, kick around the body is effective. Ward, Eagleton needs to get it over the top. Does Murphy. Here comes Cooney on the lead. And Cooney marks 40 from goal.
Same spot as he missed only about 5 minutes ago. He kicked it just to the left of the left-hand goal post. Let's see if he can learn.
Leading, but that's ignored. So Adam Cooney now, he really needs to kick this to get reward for effort. 12 inside 50s to 2, 22 points to 0. Kicks this, and I reckon that about sums up their dominance. Adam Cooney.
He's done it again.
Exactly the same.
3-5 now, the Bulldogs. David Smorgan, the president there. Shaking his head. Can't believe it. But they've dominated. They lead by 23 points.
Schneider does the kicking in.
They've had trouble all NAB Cup series getting the ball away from the kick-in.
They have again,
Kilda.
yep.
Good pressure by the Bulldogs.
It's a real taste of their own medicine at the moment, isn't it, Rob, for the Saints?
It is, and 8 scoring shots to none.
Hudson going to contest this one. Hall just being held there by Dawson. Got away with it.
So even Stevie Milner's had to leave the forward pocket to come back to get a touch.
Handballs to Del Santo. Gee, in tight quarters here, the Saints. To be clean. Oh, Hall and Gwilt. Spills to Higgins. Onto the left boot. Higgins kicks. A goal.
Brute Max, performance antiperspirant. Brute, still brutally male.
Now Barry Hall involved again. There was the pressure on Gwilt, and Higgins in the foreground there was able to capitalise, convert the opportunity.
Did you ever play with an enforcer, Chriso and Luke? Quarters?
I work with you every week.
I played with the great John Nichols. I tell you what, when you got someone like that near you, you grow 6 inches and you get very cheeky.
You had Darren Malone, didn't you?
We did indeed. Jones now. Here's an opportunity for the Saints. Oh, gee, they all... No, free kick. Oh. Chopping at the arm. And that was paid by the umpire, not in the immediate area. Umpire, there's Sam Fisher with ice to his ankle and knee, and looking. Now here's the. Oh, gee.
That is a gift.
That is
a gift.
There was no chopping out of the arm there at all. If anything, there was a push forward, but it's a bad call.
That shot of Sam Fisher rules him out for the rest of the game. There's no way known the Saints will bring him back.
Well, let's hope he's right for round one, Rob. Nick Revolt kicks a goal for St Kilda. Finally.
Buy now, pay later. 500 days interest-free now at Harvey Norman. That's no deposit, no interest, no repayments till July 2011. But hurry, offer ends this weekend. Get what you want now. New TVs, home theatre, kitchen and laundry appliances, new laptops, phones, cameras and mobile technology, new carpets and flooring, new furniture, bedding and bedroom furniture. Buy now, pay later. 500 days interest-free. No deposit, no interest, no repayments till 2011. Don't miss out. Offer ends this weekend. Go Harvey Norman now.
Very lucky break for the Saints. Absolutely nothing in that.
Peake actually pushed Griffin into revolt.
But a badly needed 6 points nevertheless for the Saints. King, nice tap to Armitage, couldn't get a handle on it. Boyd to Everett. Boyd will have another crack. Lynch was in there working hard for St Kilda, now Armitage. Clever by Schneider. Over to Smith. Puts it inside 50 and revolt again. They earned this one.
Have to be a bit careful here, the Dogs. They've dominated the quarter. Can't afford in the last couple of minutes for St Kilda to kick 2 or 3 goals and eradicate that difference.
Did really well, Nick Revolt. Read that. It was a wobbly old high kick that came in and had the acceleration to get in front of Morris.
This is worth 6 points, this kick. Poster for the Saints.
Some similarities for me with the prelim final last year, where the Bulldogs dominated the first quarter, really had plenty of possession, plenty of shots at goal, but just didn't get the scoreboard pressure happening. And first quarter's been all them, and they'd probably like to lead by a little bit more than 22 points.
Harris's kick, Ackermanis should have got a free kick, didn't. Boyd, Minson, Boyd. Outstanding season last year, Matthew Boyd. Kicks to half forward. Fist coming from Blake, and a boundary throw in.
Sam Fisher will be a big loss for the Saints. He's the general in that back line, particularly now that Zach Dawson will have to go head-to-head with Barry Hall. Sam Fisher gets heaps of the ball. They'll miss his numbers.
King, big pack around this football at half forward for the Bulldogs. You can hear the umpire there, Ackermanis, trying to get the ball free. Montagna handball straight to Hill. He couldn't quite control it. Well done by Miles. Higgins trying to get it over the top, couldn't. St Kilda have got the numbers here. Goddard off to Armitage. And now Jones wants to run with a footy. Takes on Miles and does it well, Clint Jones. Kick to half forward, revolt up. This time he marks strongly. Back to Jones. St Kilda starting to move now. High towards Kaczynski. He's in a great spot, Justin. Oh, it didn't take the mark. Now the Dogs have got the numbers so they can clear. Hahn over the top to Lake. His chip kick was a dangerous one, fisted forward by Revolt, but straight to Hargrave. Now Griffin, sweeping 35-metre handball, finds Williams. Needs to be composed, and he is. He measures the kick to Hill.
Bad miss, Kaczynski.
Harbrow, who marks it half back.
Oh, and Clint Jones, wasn't he magnificent?
Yeah.
Setting him up.
Well, he did 2 nice kicks, Clint Jones. One to Revolt, and then the other one to Kaczynski, and he dropped the sitter.
Hahn chips towards Murphy. Well done, Blake. Ward attacks it. Here's the drop Kaczynski mark.
Thank you.
Well, that's just not good enough.
Hahn with strength. Couldn't find a target by hand. Spills to the back of the pack. Quick kick by King. Touched off the boot. Lynch. Forced forward now to Schneider. Handball ricochets off Williams, who gives it to Murphy. And the Dogs get it back. Hahn just stuck out his ample backside. Scrubby old kick inside 50. Hall against Dawson. Hall gets there first. Pops it over the top. Jan Syracuse, good tackle. The tackler was Miles, and he's been penalised as Jan Syracuse, and Miles gets a free kick deep in defence. Off to Blake. And that'll be it. Quarter time. The Dogs in the NAB Cup Grand Final of 2010 have a very handy 22-point lead.
Inside 50 stat is the one that, for me, just jumps out. The Western Bulldogs had it inside 50 14 times. St Kilda only 5. They absolutely dominated. Barry Hall kicked the first 2 goals. 22-point margin at quarter time. They really could have been further in front, but they'll go in feeling pretty good about the way they've set up today.
after the round one is completed. It's the Bulldogs by 22 points at quarter time. Boyd with 11 disposals had an outstanding first term. Goddard busy as always for St Kilda. How did you see Barry Hall, Rob, in the first quarter?
This is the Barry Hall's impact in the first quarter. First marking contest, he went, beat two opponents, went back, kicked a goal on the lead. Zach Dawson goes under it. He's just a strong presence. And he'll cause a lot of spillages, which will create goals for his teammates. Has a flying shot there. Have a look at this. This is what you'd love as a coach. You just know that the big fella will put pressure on. The opposition will be looking around for him because he's a big, strong man, and the Bulldogs haven't had someone like that for a long, long time. And that's why I think they're real good things to be there that last Saturday in September.
So there are Dogs fans. Get behind them. Buy yourself a membership ticket. All the money goes to the respective football clubs. As far as the Saints are concerned, well, they're almost broken their record. And it's the Saints Family Day tomorrow between midday and 3 o'clock at Frankston Park, and the entry is free. So get on board tomorrow, Saints fans, and if you haven't done so already, buy yourself a membership ticket. Justin Kazitsky needs to produce more, Luke.
Been fairly quiet. His track record on Brian Lake isn't great. They had a couple of games where they played on each other last year, just the one goal for Kazitsky. So tough opponent for him, but hasn't really been involved at all so far.
Jason Ackermanis has been outstanding in this NAB Cup competition. There's Morris with the continuing job on Nick Revolt. As we're about to get the second quarter underway, the NAB Cup Grand Final, and the Bulldogs doing it well. They lead by 22 points. King wins this one out towards Goddard, taken though by Hahn. Feeds it back to Picken. Williams, oh, not a great handball, put Cross under pressure. What's the umpire going to do here? Ball eventually comes out. McQualter straight up in the air, fisted down by Everett. McQualter somehow finds it again, kicks inside attacking 50. Morris in front, couldn't take the mark. Dog fans call for a free kick. Cooney, Gilby, Hargrave under pressure. Did well to get the handball to Minson. His handball a little wild. Morris, Harbrow, they're under pressure. Kick okay. Eagleton, little fumble. Puts himself under pressure. Handball wide towards Gilby. Schneider applying some pressure as well. And gee, they did well there, St Kilda. The Dogs couldn't get it out. And they'll be pretty happy, I reckon, the Bulldogs with a boundary throw in half forward for St Kilda.
Not too well at quarter time. Awarding to viewers in a moment. We'll show what happened to Nick Revolt at quarter time. He's not a well boy, but he's out there. As Farron Ray puts it inside 50, the former Bulldog. Not a great kick. Gilby, slick hands, missed the target, puts Hargrave under the pump. Throws it on the boot towards the boundary line. Here's Milne. He overran it. Graham can't pick it up. Bulldogs had the extra man, but Milne somehow got it and threaded it through. Free kick. Advantage paid, and it's a point.
Well, that's the new rule there, Quarters. If you decide to take...
He elected to kick, so it's his choice.
Here's Nick Revolt at quarter time. He's got it not too well at all. You see that often, isn't it? Such a gut-busting game these days.
I mean, often people ask, how does Nick Revolt get himself free so often? It's because he runs harder than anyone in the competition, so pushes himself to exhaustion.
Good tackle coming there from Ray. Lake under pressure. Good tackle in turn by Goddard. St Kilda all of a sudden in this second term have lifted their intensity levels. Cooney does well. Boyd off a step towards centre wing, but again the numbers here with the Saints. Blake can share it with Gwilt, who charges through. Handball forward to the play towards Del Sando. Back to Gwilt. Kick towards the goal square. Kazitsky, but in front. The mark's taken by Revolt.
Just good bold running by Gwilt, coming through the middle of the ground, the half-back flanker. Direct footy. And really put the burners on.
Gee, it's great to watch that sort of stuff, Rob, isn't it?
Well,
just charging straight at the defence.
And don't the forwards love it? And you can see there, that was about an 80-metre play by Gwilt.
Revolt pops it through. He has his second.
Bulldogs lead cut to 15. 2 goals to Revolt. There's a former Saints champ watching on in the crowd, Stuart Lowe.
Yeah. Wow.
Minson against King. King on the bunts, but not much effect as it spills now to Williams. He kicks to Huffle. That's a good mark by Murphy. He wants to go. And go he does. Evades a couple of tacklers and squares it up to Minson. He's bowled over by Montagna. Good tackle by Del Santo. What's going to happen here? Big Will over the top of the footy, and the umpire calls a bounce as we go down to Mark Howard.
Quick update on Sam Fisher. The Saints actually made a commitment with each other coming into this game. If anyone was slightly injured, they wouldn't take any more part. That's Sam Fisher's case. He has got ice on his knee and ankle, but they tell him it's just only a rolled ankle. They're not too concerned, but we won't see him back, they don't reckon, tonight.
Del Santo out wide to Revolt. Kicks to Kazitsky, trying to get him into the game.
I agree, Quarters. I think the skipper thought, I've got to get my big mate into it. He's dropped a plum put in that first quarter. See if I can get him into it, but the kick wasn't good enough.
Only 4.5 minutes into the second term, but St Kilda's intensity has gone up significantly.
Got on off to Del Santo. High inside attacking 50. Revolts.
He is a star. Single-handedly, he's got his team back into the contest.
There's the Goddard tap. It was brilliant to Del Santo, and Revolt had his name on this a long way out, outmarking Kazitsky. And a chance for his third, and an opportunity to pull the margin to back to just 9 points.
20 gone.
Dogs led by 29 points, 18 minutes in first term. Should kick this. He misses to the right.
Dale Morris tends to get Rewalt. Always does as good a job as he can. Rewalt in the prelim final kicks free late. Now whether it's time just to say to Tom Williams, you know what, have a go. Go and play on him. You match up better with him physically.
King knocks it to ground. Picked up by Boyd, who had an outstanding first quarter. Gives it to Cooney. Now to Everett. Stood his ground, but nicely knocked away by Geary for St Kilda. So throw in on centre wing. It's the Dogs by 14 points.
And St Kilda's best tagger, Clint Jones, has got the job on Adam Cooney. You can see there at the bottom of this pack.
There is Jones. Hudson trying to get it out. Now King. He has a go at it. Still not out. Now we'll have a bounce. Will the umpire give it a free kick?
Head down.
So Stephen King gave Boyd on the way out a little bit of a bump to the head, which was just dumb, and the free kick's been reversed.
He gave him a bit of a bump. It looked like his knee that he gave him the bump with, and the umpire spotted it, which is good umpiring.
Hargrave to Gilby. He switches and finds Harbrow. Back into the corridor to Morris, to Griffin, and again switching.
Well, it's been all St Kilda early second quarter. This isn't bad by the Bulldogs. Just denying St Kilda the ball and getting plenty of touches for themselves, which they haven't had for a while.
Ackermanis to Hudson to Jan Syracusa, who kicks to the hot spot. Hall sets himself, can't take the mark. Back of the pack is Gwilt, puts the head down. Got it over to Goddard. He gives it to Baker. And into the back pocket to Schneider.
Schneider now thought about giving it off, but eventually kicks dangerously. Armitage is able to take it in the end, off to Peake. Now Blake kicked towards the wing. Revolt getting involved now. Nick Revolt, the captain. He's got it.
So Cozzy on his own inside 50 there, Chris. Revolt decided just to hold on to it.
Covering a lot of ground is Revolt.
Off to Graham. Back to Revolt. This time he kicks it high. He would have been better advised to do that earlier as Williams comes in. In fact, Everett does it brilliantly and marks.
Good sign to see Everett take a contested mark like that, knowing he was going to get hit. A couple of tall young players in Everett and Williams who are their best as well and truly in front of them.
Ward shovels it back to Gilby. High and very dangerous kicking to the corridor. Picken can't control it. Gilbert tries to crash through. Can't. Well played by Moles. Graham McQualter off to Montagna. Kick out wide. Kazitsky handles it well. Off to Milne. 50 from goal. Stephen Milne chips it into the pocket. It wasn't a great kick, and Everett now can relieve pressure. Off to Ward. Harbrow needs to be effective here, and finds Hargrave in the back pocket.
And Boyd's just come on and he's loose, but he's ignored. Gee.
Didn't see him.
He goes long and it's almost come off. Higgins just couldn't quite take the mark. Kept it alive. Gwilt. Good tackle by Higgins. Hill can't snaffle it. Here's Big McAvoy.
How do you rate McAvoy, Luke? St Kilda's got two ageing ruckmen in Gardner and King.
I reckon McAvoy is good enough to keep Michael Gardner out of this side. Probably one of the only two players. Lenny Hayes is a certainty, but I'd go with McAvoy. I think he's got a little bit more than Gardner can offer at this stage of his career. More athletic, still capable of competing well around the stoppages.
And Stanley's another one. He didn't play tonight. He was one of the guys that didn't make the team. Smith for St Kilda. Looking for Revolt, who with just had any thought of his own personal safety, went back with the flight of the ball as usual. Smith squeezed the kick out. Here's Eagleton. Tries to bust the tackle. Morris. Now Higgins. And he finds Boyd. He gives it to Ackermanis. Little handball over the top to Griffin. Not a lot on offer. Kicks to a 2-on-1. Hall's going to have to beat a couple here. Can't do so. Goddard, third man in. Gives it to Farron Ray. He gives it back to Goddard. Hall in hot pursuit. Good stuff from Barry Hall. Now the Saints in the midfield. Comes to Smith. Smith kicks. It's a shocking kick inside 50. He stubbed his toe. And the Bulldogs get it back.
To Moles, handball, didn't find the target. Hudson has to be good here. Well, got a favourable bounce. Take it to the line, Ben. I thought he did. He didn't. Harbrow, kick around the body. Montagna, little hand in there, but Dogs have got the numbers around the contest. Cooney to Boyd. Matthew Boyd looking for Hill. Oh, good play there from Miles, chipping in front of Hill. And a boundary throw and results.
The team tackle pressure from St Kilda the second quarter is a vast difference to what they put on in the first term, and their structures are going really well. They've got a lot of numbers back, and when they go forward, they're finding space in their own forward 50.
McAvoy and Hudson share it. Ray, handball to Jones, hard up against the line. He kicks towards half forward. Kazitsky misjudged it. Late settles back off to Boyd, who's had a ton of the football. Matthew Boyd. He kicks across the ground, and Gilby marks at half back.
17 for Boyd, Michael.
He's been outstanding. Gian Siracusa sells it to Gilbert and is away. Loops the handball. Gee, that wasn't a great option. Ray couldn't control it. Ward tries to crash through the Jones tackle. Couldn't. Numbers with the Saints. Schneider. McQualter doesn't know what to do. Off to Gilbert. He's got a couple of big key forwards up there. Back to McQualter. 45 from goal. Kicks towards Kazitsky. He'll mark this. No, he won't. He'll get a free kick instead.
10 inside 50s to 1 in this quarter. And the game has completely swung around.
When he infringed him, was he in the square, did you think, or outside? Okay. Perfect.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because if it was marked outside the square, he would have gone on the very acute angle. The umpire wasn't sure, so he asked the goal umpire. The goal umpire said, I don't know. He said, oh, well, you can have it straight in front.
Here's a gift. Kazitsky kicks the goal.
I was twittering away before I crashed into the corner shop.
I was trying to dry my hair.
I was fiddling with my chair.
I just didn't see the lorry. What about me? I never claimed they get the same as I did. What about me?
Amy's Safe Driver Rewards for drivers who don't claim.
Lucky you're with Amy.
So this is interesting. If for the marks taken inside the square, you go directly in front. If it's outside or the free kick's outside, you go on the angle. So it actually was outside. The umpire had a guess and gave it to him directly in front.
McAvoy against Minson. Minson the tap. Gian Siracusa was being held but didn't get the free kick. Dal Santo pops it up to half forward. Good mark taken by Williams. Off to Gilby. Extra number here for the Dogs, but Gwilt, good fist, but the sheer weight of numbers do win out in the end as the Dogs work it inside 50, and an excellent mark taken by Hahn.
That last thing on the column of requirements to win a premiership, the Bulldogs have got everything. Have they got the belief? And that box was empty at the start of the game. They've been challenged here in the last 10 minutes. The last 3 goals have gone to St Kilda, and they've had a rare forward 50 entry. Big kick this.
And the ball's still in play. Didn't quite make the distance. Good pick up by Armitage under pressure. Little give and go to Jones. And a great kick though outside defensive 50, but it spills fortuitously to Milne. Beautiful sweeping handball to Goddard. He can run about 50 metres here. He'll have to because there's no one inside 50. And he just drills it long with the left boot. Smart play by Goddard. It's bouncing back, but it won't make it. And it's through for a point.
Harbrow to himself and short to Lake at half back. Brian Lake, scrubby old kick, but gets to Eagleton. Ackermanis just backward of centre wing, got Griffin on. Griffin now, what can he do? Hill's at the back, needs to be a good kick, and it is a great kick, and Hill has marked. Zach Dawson was completely turned inside out there, and Hill will kick from pretty much right on 50. Decides instead to hand off to Griffin for a 9-pointer. Griffin kick is just offline, and Jones sees it through. So behind to the Bulldogs.
That worked for the Bulldogs again was quick movement, the play on, succession of handballs, and the slow play. St Kilda are just so good at zoning back.
Let's see how they go with their kick in the NAB Cup. 75% of the time they kick in, they haven't got the ball past the centre of the ground, St Kilda. It's a real worry for Ross Lyon.
Go out, please. Play on.
Let's see if they can get it over the centre line, because they've really struggled to do it in the 4 games that they've played this year.
Goddard kicks to Blake. We go backwards to Dawson.
Is there a time limit on that, Rob?
No, well, the clock's still ticking, Crusoe. We watch with great anticipation.
That was a good kick to McAvoy.
They haven't got to the centre line yet. There'll be a roar if they do it.
Move it on. Play on. Play on.
He kicks down the line.
Play on.
Now, is that past the, still not past the centre?
Still not there.
Still in the defensive half.
There's Brad Johnson with an Achilles problem at the moment. They're confident to be back at the latest by round 2. Luke, what do you think of this? Is that being optimistic?
I think that's probably about spot on. You can just have a look in the face. He's only, in the 350 games he's played, he's only missed about 1% that he could have played. So an amazing record. Good to see him back out there soon.
Hargrave, old-fashioned droppy there. Del Santo off to McGualter. Smith lost the handle. Good pressure from the Dogs. Del Santo stood firm though. Nick Del Santo. Can he find a target? He can. Milne. March 45 from goal.
Clever kick by Nick Del Santo. No one to go to at the corner of his eye. He saw Milne in a bit of space.
Now he's right on the edge of his limit, so he decides to hand off to Graham, who kicks from 55 and just misses.
Del Santo having a good game, up to 13 disposals. Goddard leads the way for the Saints with 15. Boyd 17 and Gilby 13 for the Western Bulldogs. As Morris prepares to bring it back in. A couple of options. He goes to Harbrow. He'll take on Revolt and does it well. Handball Ackermanis back to Harbrow. Look at those little legs pumping like pistons. But his kickers are bad.
I don't think Rodney would have any issue at all with that, Chris. So it looked kamikaze-like, but the reward is great. If it gets through, St Kilda, because their defenders don't play on their man, they can actually get off.
Handball comes over to Higgins. Higgins over to Hahn. Hahn goes for goal, and he has put it through. Now let's go straight down to St Kilda coach Ross Lyon, who's kindly joined us on the telecast. Ross, much improved effort in the second quarter so far, apart from that goal just then to the Dogs.
Yeah, certainly first quarter was poor. You know, we just stripped it back and just wanted to compete. That we weren't winning the ball and we weren't tackling, and our foot skills were horrendous. So certainly, you know, up until the last 1 or 2 minutes, I thought, you know, we really been strong this quarter, inside 50s, winning the ball and tackling. So it's really been a strong contrast between the quarters, no doubt.
Ross, the Bulldogs jumped you early. It seemed to me they were intent on playing on at every opportunity.
Yeah, they played quick. I think we both played on about 50%, so they certainly went quick. I thought our midfield early gave some opportunities, but they went forward once, and I thought we defended poorly in the air, and it was a soft sort of goal, and I think it really lifted the Bulldogs. And then from there, we got a little bit jittery in defence, and they just scored every time they went in. So I asked for our defence to steal up and the midfield and the forwards to start hitting in and put some pressure on. And certainly it's sort of not how we want to play, but this quarter is more reflective of what we want to be like.
Ross, what were the indicators like for your tackle pressure at quarter time? It seemed like
non-existent. You know, I think we had 9 tackles or something like that, and 10 minutes in we had 9 here, so it's a bit different. I think the game's lifted a little bit now, you know. So, yeah.
And Ross, Armitage, he seems to me as if he's really improved this year for you as a midfielder.
Yeah, he certainly had. Like, he made a couple of mistakes, but we're certainly going to persist and persevere with him and give him every opportunity because he's worked hard, he's a ball winner, and you know, we think he can help take us forward, no doubt.
Ross, we appreciate your time as Jason Ackermanis has just kicked another goal.
Kicked 2 in the
yeah,
time.
sorry about that,
box.
I bet you he doesn't talk to us again today.
Well, it just shows how good a coach he is, because as soon as you take him off the job, look what happens.
So the Bulldogs now all of a sudden back out to a 22-point lead with Jason Ackermanis kicking his first for the match.
Fine, Matty.
He's had a great build-up, Jason Ackermanis.
Very close, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, star again this season, you'd think.
Now, Luke, tell me, what sort of a pay cut do you think Acker's taken to actually play this year? Because I admire him doing it.
I reckon he'd be down to about a third of what he was paid the year before. And got no idea. That would just be my assumption because there was no room.
Down to $500,000.
Yeah, well, probably a fair bit less than that, Chriso. But good on him. He loves the game. He wanted to play on for another year. And he was their leading goal kicker last year, Rob. Kicked 43 goals, and his summer's been fantastic, so good on him.
Cross wide to Everett. The Dogs in the last 3 or 4 minutes certainly back in the game. Murphy can't mark. Geary off the ground. Mark taken by Armitage. Between half-back and wing. So Saints got to within 7 points, but the Dogs now back in control. Armitage quite short, and that is one piece of poor play. So the Bulldogs now looking to press home their advantage. Eagleton just forward of the wing, high target. Well, the target was hard, but having to stand underneath it. He did a great job, was Farron Ray against his old team, and he marks 35 metres from his defensive goal.
By the way, while we were talking to Ross Lyon, Mitch Hahn kicked a super goal. So $1,000 worth of Sherrins goes to his original club, which is the Northern Eagles in Queensland.
Gwilt at half-back. Gilbert. So the Western Bulldogs with numbers back. So St Kilda forced to really kick across the ground, maintain possession. That's their aim at the moment. That's not a great kick though by Gilbert. Pushed over was Boyd. Baker. Good tackle, Eagleton, but he gets the handball out. Geary, Ray. They're under pressure here, St Kilda. Not too many options on this time for Blake as he kicks towards the wing. Geary running onto the ball, close to the line, keeps it in. Pressure from Everett. Kick wasn't great, overrun by Revolt. Well done, Williams. Griffin does well to shrug the tackle. Back to Williams. Good kick on the left side.
Seen
and
some
the mark's
positive
taken by
signs.
Gilby.
Williams, some very positive signs in this first half.
Here's Ward.
Automatic play on again, Quarters.
Yeah, beautiful kick. And he finds his acting captain tonight in John Siracusa.
He really runs hard, Quarters. He pushed all the way back to half-back and he just burned his way back down the other end of the ground. Got rid of his opponent just through gut running and hard running, and underrated sometimes for just how hard he works from half forward into the midfield.
Right on his limit, John Siracusa. And in the last line of defence, it's all St Kilda, and an easy mark in the end taken by Stephen King.
Thank you.
Short one to Ray. He gives it to Montagna. Oh, pressure again from the Dogs. Almost forces the turnover. Hahn goes hard. Griffin at the bottom of that. And well done by the Bulldogs forwards.
He's made himself an accomplished player now, Mitch Hahn. Luke, you would have played with him early days where he was a bit of a battler.
Just a bit inconsistent early, Rob, and this is what they want from him. It's second efforts, use his big frame, get up again. He's got great power, great acceleration, and he can actually tackle really well. So here he is again.
Blake couldn't get a clear handball away. Hall splits his way through the pack. In there is Geary. Great forward pressure again from the Dogs, but it's a free kick. Is it?
Last 2 weeks,
What's third man up here?
quarters
No
no free
bounce.
kick. The Bulldogs
Bounce.
had 85 and 89 tackles. You hear the umpire, Ray, just saying, get out the way. So their tackle pressure has been unbelievable.
Hudson taps it to Ackermanis. Handballs backwards to Hill. Gives the back to Hahn.
Well done by Hilda
It
Shepherd.
was good Shepherd to Gilby, who uses it well, and this is no exception. He's found Everett. Now this is in super goal territory.
Can he go the distance, Luke?
I reckon it's just beyond him, Rob.
Yep, he's not confident, and he goes out wide to Lake.
Now this fella would love to kick a 9-pointer.
He just pangs it on the boot.
Yep, 9.
It floats, still in play, and in the end it is a throw-in.
Contest, it's a throw-in. Thank you.
So an opportunity here, 40 seconds left on the clock for the Bulldogs to extend their lead. Hudson and Hall wide, taken though by Smith. Oh, a little fumble from Gilbert, backed up by Peake. His kick is to Kazitsky, who marks at half back for the Saints. Still enough time for them. Probably not now as Murphy comes over the top of Peake and destroys it. Boundary throw in the attacking side of the wing for the Dogs.
I wouldn't mind seeing Kazitsky do a bit of ruck work in the second half. I reckon he's out of form, and to get him right for round one, give him a chance to have a run on the ball.
St Kilda dominating clearances. Behind on the scoreboard, Armitage and Cross wrestle.
Well, they are dominating the clearances, Chris. It's about 2-1 in favour of the Saints.
Because he's always been one of those players, Rob, that just takes a fair while to warm up and find his touch and find his balance. At the moment, you're right, he's just not got it at all.
Ackermanis, Higgins, Hargrave standing firm, jams it on the boot, only as far as Blake. Off to Ray. They're going to run out of time though, St Kilda, as he kicks towards half forward. That's half time in the NAB Cup Grand Final, and the Bulldogs lead by 22, the same margin they did at quarter time.
Well, it's an interesting quarter, wasn't it? For the most part of that second quarter, it was St Kilda. Their tackling was up, their clearances were up. Nick Revolt really got them fired, and they really made a contest of it. And they were challenged, the Bulldogs, but their belief stood firm, and a big 9-pointer to Mitch Hahn got them right back into the game, Chris O.
Few running repairs to the centre circle here at Etihad Stadium. The surface will be replaced next week, and not before time because it's looking a bit raggedy at the moment after the AC/DC concert. It just hasn't recovered, but some new turf and it'll look $1 million, I'm sure, as we get ready for the season. Also, as you get ready for the season, prepare your dream team at afl.com.au. Barry Hall with a couple of goals next to his name sees his team 22 points in front. Nick Revolt 2 for the Saints. Luke Darcy and Robert Walls, how do we see this second half unfolding?
Well, I think St Kilda have really kept the door open for them. The Bulldogs in the first quarter really had the opportunity to maybe even have a 30 to 35 point lead, but the way that St Kilda structure up, they're so good at being disciplined, at slowing the game down, restricting some scoring and enabling them to stay in the contest. Keep referring back to the prelim final late last year where the Western Bulldogs won contested possession. They won inside 50s, 57-40. They had more scoring shots and they lost. Even though they've played really well in the first half, I could see St Kilda giving themselves a good opportunity to come back and get up and win.
Yeah, as well as the Bulldogs have played, they've only got the 6 goals on the board. Bit of confusion in the Bulldogs forward line because there's only 5 of them down there, and they're looking up to the coach's box to say, hey, we need one more. And there's still, it looks like there's still a man short.
I think Hill seems to be playing on the wing. He's played most of the first half up forward. I'm sure to work itself out. You've got 2 in defence. As the third quarter underway here at Etihad Stadium, the NAB Cup Grand Final. Dogs by 22. And we'll get a secondary bounce. Or the ball will be thrown up by umpire Stevic. Hudson decisively. Shark though by Del Santo. Thumped by Gilby. Well done, Ray. Jammed on the boot by Picken. Gets some good distance too, but only as far as that spare man in defence, Gilbert.
It's Bulldogs not organised at that centre bounce to start the third quarter.
He kicks wide to Gilt. To Gwilt, who marks at half back.
Bulldogs have got Tom Williams loose down the other end. I think St Kilda would be happy with that. I think Gilbert would be more dangerous than there is St Kilda's loose, Sam Gilbert, than Tom Williams would be at this stage of his career.
Choice of two. Blake takes it. Barry Hall comes to him, but he gets the kick away in the direction of Schneider. Picken did brilliantly to fist it away over the boundary line. Boundary throw in the attacking side of the wing for the Western Bulldogs.
And this is the quick kick forward. Bulldogs are a forward short. And Rodney Eade, the coach, saying, what the hell's going on, boys? Didn't you listen to me at halftime?
He's back.
Free kick going St Kilda's way. It's going to be taken by Schneider.
Move it on, play on.
Good pass to Montagna.
Stay there. Play on, play on. Come on.
And slowly but surely for the Saints. Del Santo looks for his skipper. Ah, what a terrific mark.
Well, he's kicked 2 of their 3 goals. And you'd say he'll probably have 3 of their 4. And up forward at the moment, it's a one-man band for the Saints. Stephen Milne's been in great NAB Cup form. He's only had the 1 kick to this stage of the game.
How good are those hands under pressure, fully extended, knowing you've got to land and potentially smash your head on the ground? He just doesn't ever flinch. His hands are just so good.
3 goals to Revolts. Dogs by 16.
Doesn't necessarily come naturally. And for banking, it's no different. But at NAB, we've been making changes. Fees abolished, service improved, a sense of fairness. More give, less take.
Tom Williams now, Luke, looks like he's gone back.
They have made the move,
Rewalt.
and there's Dale Morris, who really got lost on that occasion. He gave Rewalt 4 or 5 metres, which is always going to be dangerous. So great opportunity, young Tom Williams, to try and stand up and get the job done on Nick Rewalt.
He's the man they need, the Bulldogs, to complete this team as Graham kicks towards half forward. Slapped forward by Schneider, only as far as Harbrow. Cross. Try to get it back to Harbrow. Oh, high tackle there on... Oh, gee, that was a little reverse headbutt there from Schneider into Picken.
Go, no, you're ahead of your mark now. Go back around it.
So he gets the free kick.
Well, Tom Williams on Revolt, I'm really looking forward to seeing how the young fella goes. Only played 30-odd games of senior football.
Playing 5 metres in front of him at the moment, just watching his every move as the ball comes wide to Montagna, who marks just outside 50.
Chase.
9 disposals for Lee Montagna. Now he kicks inside, attacking 50, and Goddard left all by himself. Well, Jan Siracusa was his marksman. He got lost watching the player and not the football, and Goddard in the end was able to mark uncontested.
Well, Rodney Eade won't be happy. Montagna's pass is a good one, but there's no one even near Goddard. And the kick before, the Schneider kick to Montagna, that was too easy a take as well.
Goddard kicks another, the second of the quarter for the Saints.
Lightning speed. Incredible contrast. And deep blacks. Vivid color. Please welcome television at the next level.
Back-to-back goals for the Saints. Bulldogs lead by just 10 points. There's Williams now with a job on Revolt. Lake looking after Kazitsky. McAvoy, beautiful tap to Del Santo, who's had a great game. Puts it inside 50. Milne, he's dangerous in these situations. Turns Harbrow inside up and then loses his balance. Gives it back. Quick kick inside 50. It's rolling towards goal, and Lake will be happy to concede the rush behind. And it'll get things moving pretty quickly as he finds Minson in the back pocket.
Barry Hall hasn't touched the footy since the 24-minute mark of the first quarter.
Back to Lake. who switches play to Morris, who marks at half back for the Western Bulldogs. Dale Morris. Oh, gee, that's very close. In fact, over the line. So costly turnover, perhaps. So Gilbert now kicks to half forward. McQualter all by himself off to Farron Ray. 60 from goal. Chips it across the ground. Geary off 2 steps. Beautiful little pass onto the Chester Mill. And St Kilda are dominating the contest at the moment. He'll kick from 35 directly in front.
It started at the start of the term. The Dogs look disorganised and they've been playing like it ever since.
They haven't picked up their men. They had 5 forwards and looking up at the box. So he didn't listen to the instructions at half-time, and just the open space provided then.
No problems for Stephen Milne. The margin back to 3 points.
Okay, nearly got it.
That's disgusting.
It'll look great in the lounge.
Not in my lounge.
Damn, this bit's taking ages. Is your phone working?
Nope.
Someone else bought it.
It's a shame.
If your network isn't fast enough, try the network that works better in more places. Telstra Next G.
Well, the Bulldogs have moved Adam Cooney in for this centre bounce. He's been sitting up in the forward line doing nothing for the last 7 minutes because the ball hasn't got there. And they've said to Ackermanis, you get out, you go forward, and we'll get Cooney into the mix.
Minson just throws it on the left boot to half forward. Murphy waits for it to bounce. All played by Geary. Comes to cross. Great smother by Gwilt. Trying to bust his way through his ward unsuccessfully. McQualter. Off to Armitage. Well-weighted handball over the top. There's an opportunity for the Saints through Peak. Got it out to Montagna. Saints on the go here as Montagna pumps it long to the tip of the goal square. Morris, great. Fist to the footy, off the ground, no, Milne. Desperate stuff from Morris, and it's a rush behind.
It was a great spoil by Morris. Running back with the flight's not easy. That is a difficult spoil, but he's done it to perfection.
Harbrow to himself and needs to find a target here. Wasn't a great kick. Pick up by Gilbert was a beauty. Good tackle though by Higgins. Handball forward. All Dogs. Everett just jams it on the boot. Hacks it out of there towards the wing and over for a boundary throw in. 21-12 clearances in favour of St Kilda. That's an area that they'll need to really pick up on. There's the inside 50s. St Kilda actually in front after trailing 14-5 at quarter time. Minson, beautiful tap to Cooney. On the left boot, not too much to go to, and dropping back Gilbert. Should have taken the mark. Good pressure from Hahn. Well done, Mitch Hahn. Sockers it forward. Dawson under pressure. Baker going back. So is Ray. Great tackle coming. That's got to be a free kick, you'd think. No, says Razor Ray. He wants to ball it up. 35 from the Bulldog goal.
When we went to umpire school, we were taught differently this year, weren't we? I thought that should be a free kick.
Well, you would have thought so. Here's the... Oh, gee, well, there's one there. Now, that would have been a free kick in round 1 of the NAB Cup, no doubt. Boundary throw in 48 metres from the Dog goal.
Bulldogs just really need to just get some composure here. They've had the first 3 goals kicked on them to start the second half. They just need to slow things down, apply some tackle pressure.
Jones off to Baker, gives it to Graham, and Hargrave decides just to knock it over the line. Lost all system in this term, the Western Bulldogs.
Getting the clearances, the Saints since quarter time just started to dominate overall for the game. 22-13 the clearances. They've been in and under. They really do work hard around the contests like this. They get numbers there, they bore in.
Mine now. Ball pin. Thanks, Matty. Watch here.
McAvoy the tap. Minson has the kicks. In fact, he kicked it into the leg of Cooney, I think. Here's Harbrow. Picked up by Ward, who drills it inside 50 to no one in particular. Running onto it is Hill. Will the boundary line beat him? It does. Bit of artwork on that left leg from Adam Cooney.
Here comes Barry.
Griffin beats him to it, takes it out as well tackled, and will be penalised because he didn't get an effective disposal away. And just feeling left jaw there, Ryan Griffin. Let's hope he's okay. Free kick to Armitage, who kicks short to Blake.
1 metre, play on.
Now Blake feeds it off. Baker. Oh, look out. Oh, dispossessed. Chance for Hill here. He's got Eagleton in support and through the ball, says umpire Chamberlain. Free kick to St Kilda. Right smile coming from Josh Hill.
Just Hill and Hart have applied some pressure in the last couple of minutes, a couple of strong tackles, just slowed things down.
Baker off to Del Santo. Now that's a good kick. Mark taken by King. Off to Gilbert, who's proved very handy in this third quarter. Just got the kick away. It wasn't a great one though. Enough pressure applied. Free kick to the Western Bulldogs on centre wing.
Play on your end, play on, play on.
Morris is the kicker. Goes long. Hudson against King. Hudson one out to Cooney. Quick hands towards Hargrave. He just smashes it on. Dawson backs himself. Couldn't quite grab the Sharon. Schneider's in there for the Saints and will have a bounce 30 metres out from the Dogs' goal.
There's Tom Williams, who went on to Nick Revolt for a couple of minutes, and now on the interchange bench. I believe everything's okay. Dale Morris back onto Revolt.
Another clearance.
Yeah, Del Santo. Back into the middle of the ground. Goddard. Beautifully done and a fantastic handball to Smith. Now's a chance for Peake from 55 out. Kicks to the goal square. Big spoil by Lake. Here's an opportunity for Kaczynski. It's all Bulldogs down there though, and Harbrow will come away with the ball. Has plenty of time to use it properly. And he finds Gilby. No, he doesn't on the half volley, but Harbrow did well. And he kicks it towards half forward. The chase is on. Eagleton against Baker. Eagleton will have the leg speed. Got bowled over. Umpire let it go. Ackermanis. Over to Hudson, over to Hargrave, pops one over the top, back to Eagleton, who squares it up, and the kick finds Brodie Moles.
Moles now plays on, kicks it inside, attacking 50, hold the target, ball to the back, Barry will be first there. Can he snap a goal? Good pressure from Gilbert, he's still got it, Big Barry, shrugs Blake if you don't mind, and kicks it. Bad throw in.
Mitch Hart on that occasion, Chris, so Barry had the one-on-one on Dawson, was in great position, and Hart just allowed Blake to peel off and go third man up. And he's got to try and give Barry those opportunities one-on-one and make sure that he at least gets his man into a dangerous position.
He just did enough, Jason Blake, there.
Free kick to Ryan Griffin.
Okay, so that's paid by umpire Roseberry, who wasn't in the immediate area, wasn't the umpire in control. And Ryan Griffin will take it and kick for goal.
I just wrote down 4 names. Griffin, Cooney, Gian Siracusa, Gilby, all experienced, all in the prime of their football careers as far as age experience goes. They need to get their team home in this game tonight. They've been challenged and they've been around long enough. Don't rely on Ackermanis to do it.
Needs to kick this, Ryan Griffin, and he does.
I was about 11 when I first started thinking of winning my first Grand Prix, and I've been honoured and proud to represent Australia.
There's Mark Webber. Red Bull have done it. A 1-2.
Australians love their sport, and they particularly like sport when someone's doing well.
And now it's going to be victory for Mark Webber. His first in Formula 1.
To become world champion, it's certainly not impossible.
Mercedes presents Formula 1 Bahrain qualifying tonight live on 1.
Well, he did what he needed to do. He kicked the goal. Gian Siracusa, captain tonight, experienced player, got heaps of skill. Cooney, Brownlow medalist, heaps of skill. Lindsay Gilby can run, can read it, can kick it. They've got to dig deep. They really have to bore in because this St Kilda team won't stop.
Some Bronx cheers too for the Dog supporters. They reckon they're getting a rough deal. It's 10-3 the free kick count in favour of the Saints. Murphy handballs to Higgins, who loads up for a 9-pointer.
Oh, no.
This is not good.
No, it's not good.
Are you calling for help?
No, I'm recording the footy. Sorted. I had a dream like this once.
Foxtel from Telstra, the clever way to watch TV.
Sean Higgins, what a goal. And he kicked it into the 10th row. An outstanding performance there. And, gee, Newtown be very, very happy with his return. $1,000 worth of Sherrins coming their way. Compliments of Sean Higgins. Beautifully done by Cooney. Read it superbly. Kicks it wide. And good mark taken there by Miles.
Rob, question for you. There's been some calls from some influential people as we're just about to see a turnover here. I'll ask you in a minute.
Minson handball off Murphy. Goal.
I was twittering away before I crashed into the corner shop.
I was trying to dry my hair.
I was fiddling with my
We
chair.
were trying to read a map and didn't stop.
What about me? I never claimed they get the same as I did. What about me?
Amy's Safe Driver Rewards for drivers who don't claim.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Rob, the question I was going to ask you is that we've had a call from certain quarters to have the 9-point super goal included in the regular season. What do you think?
No, I don't like it at all, Luke. Don't like it at all. We've got a history of the 6 points for a goal. What about the situation where a bloke gets a free kick on the wing and then he gets a 50-metre penalty to put him inside the forward 50 and he gets 9 points for kicking a goal and he's done really nothing special to do that? No, leave it as it is. I don't mind it in the NAB Cup. It's a bit of a novelty, but no further than that.
Bulldogs got their bite back momentarily at least. Del Santo's had a wonderful game for St Kilda. Comes back to Jones. Geary under the pump. Little soccer off the ground by Jones is a good one. Lynch is in there.
What about the Hahn tackle 15 seconds ago? A raging bull was Mitch Hahn.
Minson the tap. Graham sees it over the line. So it's the Dogs by 23 points. 6.5 minutes of game time left in the third quarter. Hall and Ackermanis having a break, as is Cooney, Hill, Eagleton also on the bench. Griffin. Over to Everett. Gives it off to Cross. Kicks to the 50. And was that a hold? It was. It's a free kick go to Hudson.
One of these teams should have worn white shorts tonight.
Right out, play on.
Hudson squares it up to Harbrow. You're getting a bit confused, Rob.
Well, I was on the other side of the ground. Where I know I've had the eyes checked at 8 quarters. But
you said your eyes were fine earlier today.
Yeah.
Blake gets bowled over. That was another hard tackle. I think it was Higgins.
Rob, have the umpires gone back to and put the whistle away because it's a grand final? Because we're not seeing free kicks that were paid. And that's got to be a free kick, surely, to Lake.
Yeah, I think you're right. Grand finals.
First round of the NAB Cup, they were being paid.
They would have when they want to make a statement. But in the grand final, you've got to earn every touch you get. And I don't mind that.
Picked up by Lynch. Got the handball to Peake. Tough bounce for Lake. Revolt. There's another big tackle. Griffin laid it on Baker.
No, Ryan. He took a step and a half. It's no prior.
So Baker off the ground. And the Bulldogs right on top at the moment. Beautiful tap from Hudson to Moles. Dispossessed. McQualter at close quarters to McAvoy. Well done, big man. He picked it up, gave it to Gilbert. Off towards Goddard, who gets some real distance with his kick towards Milne. Picken going back with courage. In fact, it's out on the full off Milne. So Harbrow.
Just been watching Nick Riewoldt. He's just about exhausted out there. Covered an enormous amount of ground. Tom Williams playing on him at the moment.
Between half-back and wing. Beautiful kick to Hall. He was just on the ground. And he marks the attacking side of the wing. Big Barry. What an opening quarter he had. Kicked a couple of goals. A hand in another. Got the Bulldogs up and running. Long towards half forward.
Mitch Hahn held.
And the umpire saw it, Rob.
Well, it was as obvious, Chriso.
Early hold. We'll let him run out of it.
He was leading into the ball. The grab from behind.
He dishes off to Ackermanis, who has a shot, goes across the face. I know that was the wisest thing to do. Anyway.
I thought that hit the behind post. There you can see the jumper being held of Mitch Hahn by Gwilt. See if the Saints can get this ball past the centre. It's been a concern for them, their kick-ins.
Move it on. Stay there, play on.
Montagna short to Ray, who receives it back. Long kick, and that's a good mark taken by Kazitsky.
Have you got 4 names of St Kilda players that need to lift to get them back in the game, Rob?
I'll give you that in 20 seconds, Chriso.
Kazitsky.
One of them is Milne without any thought at all. Graham's another.
Goddard back to Graham, who pumps along. Here's a chance for Milne to make a name for himself. It's going to be 2 players, couldn't do so. Ricochets into the direction of Geary, who kicks the goal.
Brute Max, performance antiperspirant. Brute, still brutally male.
There's Geary kicking the goal. Now let's hope it doesn't go down to the wire. This was awarded a point. And it looked to clearly hit the behind post. The boundary umpire there communicating with the goal umpire. So a little error. Back in the centre, Minson does it himself, Big Will. Kicks high towards half forward. Pushing off is Murphy, can't take it. St Kilda, Geary, Blake, back to Geary. Good pressure though from Hahn, but he was able to just get the handball off to Montagna, who kicks back inside the corridor dangerously, but they've got the numbers. Ray, off to Blake. Around the body is Clever. Mark taken by Big McAvoy, off to Milne, just outside 50. Graham can kick it a long way, and he does, and he kicks. A poster.
Hit the stick.
Margin 17 points in favour of the Dogs. Gee, wouldn't that have made a difference? Would have cut it to 9 points.
Yeah, big differential, isn't it, between 1 and 9. Those super goals in the NAB Cup. 3 behinds to Jason Graham. It's the Dogs by 17.
Jason Graham, St Kilda's best player in last year's grand final, and I think that was terrific for him. He's been one of those players who you always thought could be really good. Has he got the consistency? But to do it on the big stage, that should set him up for the rest of his career.
Like the move of having Brendan Goddard and also Graham, who you're just talking about, roam through the midfield with their long kicking. You just see Graham cover the distance from 50. It was a really good move from Ross Lyon last year to get that extra run and carry through the middle of the ground.
Absolutely.
Griffin, quick hands to Cooney. Over to Ward. Towards Hall. Oh, that was a sickening collision.
Oh, someone's in trouble there.
There's a Bulldog down. It was a very heavy hit. It's Mitch Hahn who's down. In the meantime, St Kilda working inside 50, and Milne takes the mark. And Hahn's still down. That was a heavy, heavy hit.
Barry Hall, who cleaned him up. It was friendly fire quarters. Barry Hall's had the wind taken out of his sails. Well, really brave this from Mitch Hahn.
Was it what? Brave by them all.
Eyes always with the flight. Everyone had their eyes on the footy. Barry's bowled them all over.
So Milne took the mark, and a miss for Stephen Milne. He's dirty with himself.
Mitch Hahn has got no idea where he is at the moment. Tried to walk off and nearly fell over, so
I think he's trying to shrug them away, but no, he's in trouble. He's got to come off.
Dawson's in trouble too, guys. He's off as a result of that clash. Seems to have a decent old corky, and Mitch Hahn doesn't look good at all.
He's got a blood nose by the looks of it, Mitch Hahn. So Barry Hall's fixed up a couple there.
So the ball's got to come back, and Mitch Hahn being helped off the ground. As we look at it again,
Yeah, still wait. He's only halfway off.
something we always expect players to do, isn't it? Go back with the flight of the footy and keep your eye on the ball, and very quick to criticise when they don't, but
yeah, just
that's the risk, isn't it?
Cheekbone's a bit of a worry, isn't it, the look of that?
Well, let's hope he's okay. He's got a week to recover now for round one. You wouldn't expect it to be back tonight. So on we go. Hudson, the target. And well done by Baker and McAvoy in combination.
I wonder if young Gartner will pick up Hall. The guy hasn't played a game yet for the Saints because he was being touted as perhaps a year ago.
There he is.
Big ask for young Stephen Gartner off the rookie list at 20 years of age.
Goddard to Armitage to Graham, who handballs into the path of Goddard. Here's a chance for St Kilda. Running back is Revolt. He's got the sit here, Revolt. Can he get up? He can't. Blake held his ground. Now a chance for Hargrave off the ground. Well done, Murphy. Good run provided there from Jan Siracusa. Kick into the midfield. Can't take it was Geary. Well done, Cooney. Back to Jan Siracusa, who kicks towards half-forward. Now Barry's got to beat a couple here. Blake gets a comfortable bounce and is able to relieve the pressure with a kick to Goddard at half-back.
Well, Goddard, Graham have lifted.
Graham over the top to Jones. Sweeping handball to Peak. Back to Jones. Now kicks beautifully to Revolt.
His kicking been very good tonight, Clint Jones. There was a criticism last year that perhaps wasn't up to the elite level, but it's been impressive tonight.
Had 40 possessions last week. Chris, they let him off the leash. Just about the #1 tagger, vying for that with Cameron Ling in the competition. But you're right, his ability to kick it has improved. Nick Revolt had two opponents then, had Tom Williams and Lake back, pushed off them both and was too good.
Revolt for his fourth. Not to be. 3 goals, 3 to Nick Revolt.
Had their chances, St Kilda in front of goal.
So it's in the marking.
Mitch Hahn just getting that cheekbone checked out, Rob.
If he's pushed to.
Yes, he's a sore, sick and sorry boy at the moment, is Mitch Hahn, but he's also a courageous one.
Bring it in, please. You.
Hargrave does the kicking in.
Oh.
High tackle, Montagnous. Get out of it.
So,
gee, that could be costly.
Yeah, a free kick. He's got time on Tagna. 15 seconds left on the clock. He'll kick and hope as he goes for the man. Nick Revolt works his way to the front, but well done. Oh, Williams couldn't hang on to the mark though. Ball spills free. Ackermanis is there. Graham flicks it out. Armitage. Ray. Graham again. Lost it. Had it. Kick smothered by Cross. Goddard flies at it.
It was a big one-on-one marking contest, that last one. Nick Revolt, Tom Williams had to stand up and he outpointed him. You can see Nick Revolt just admonishing himself there. Tom Williams didn't quite complete the mark, but it was a good effort. It's the Dogs by 15 points, and it's seesawed, hasn't it? At times it looked as though the Western Bulldogs had run away. St Kilda, I love the way they go about it, quarters. They always hang in there. Game seriously not over. We'll go right down to the wire.
Three-quarter time in the 2010 NAB Cup, and it's the Dogs in front of the Saints by 15 points. Joining 10-1 this year is Essendon champ Matthew Lloyd. 10. The Bulldogs 2 super goals, 7-7 to St Kilda 7-10-52. Boyd 19 disposals leads the way for the Dogs, and Del Santo and Goddard 21 apiece for St Kilda. As we go down to Mark Howard with the injuries. Fisher, Hahn and Dawson are the three, Howie.
Yeah, you certainly don't want troubles at this stage of the season. Fisher went down the first 10 minutes of the game. He had his knee and his ankle ice. The medicos tell me they reckon he's just rolled his ankle, was the early analysis. They don't think he's too much of a problem. This was the big incident near the end of that third quarter. Barry Hall knocking over a few blokes. The worst one to come out of that incident undoubtedly there is Mitch Hahn. He had to be helped from the field. He has a very, very, very nasty gash under his eye, as you can see there. And Doc Zimmerman actually had to escort him down off the ground. They've been checking out whether there is any further damage. Hard to tell at this stage. Zach Dawson, he copped a cork thigh, spent some time on the bike. You'd expect he'll be right to get back out there though, boys, but some serious concerns, especially revolving around Mitch Hahn.
Thanks, Howie. 15 points to margin at three-quarter time. And you know one thing, St Kilda will come hard at the Bulldogs in this final term. Hudson, sharked by Jones, handball astray, Hargrave takes it. Cooney, Addison, loops it over the top. Boyd, who just jams it on the boot hurriedly. Now it might bounce fortuitously for Gilby. It does. High towards Hall. Hall is got to beat a couple. Well done, Dawson, who's back on the ground. Dawson tries to thread it out. Gwilt went in hard, and Gwilt is the one who emerges with it. Off to Geary, who just kicks it very wide. Addison in the spot and he marks.
Wow.
Over the top of Montagna. Good kick inside the corridor. Wow. Hudson. Hargrave. Kicks it high and long. Hall's got to beat a couple again. King in front couldn't take it. Everett does well. Jams it on the boot. Just wide.
I just think the other Bulldog forwards have got to get a little bit better on the quick play trying to isolate Barry Hall. At the other end, St Kilda are great at isolating Nick Revolt. Dale Morris has gone back to him. Tom Williams on the interchange bench again.
Gwilt's kick finds Gilbert. It's a floaty old kick to the wing. We'll have a throw in.
I didn't think so.
King the tap, and it went straight to an opponent in Picken. Got it to Cooney. Over to Cross. Hurried left foot kick towards Murphy. Blake does the spoiling. Here's Moles. Can't quite control it. Baker got in the way. Held things up for the Saints well. Now Blake just went with the one hand. He'll get a second bite at it though. Over to Graham. And Graham's kick, is it out on the full? No, just in play as Montagna takes the mark and his kick finds Farron Ray. Just defensive side of centre wing. It's the Dogs in front by 16 points. Haven't won a premiership of any kind in 40 years. Luke Darcy wasn't even born. McQualter.
Did your dad play in that one, Luke?
I think he did actually, Rob.
Inside 50 go the Saints. Revolt will have to do it from behind. Morris held his ground. Picken. Good handball to John Syracusa. To Morris. Floats one to the wing. Hill can't take the mark. Geary did well. Hill has another crack at it. Managed to evade the tackle from Blake. Brilliantly done by Hill. Over now to Easton Wood. Inside 50 Hall. Gets it knocked away. Well done, Zach Dawson.
Yeah.
Good little one-on-one there.
And both of them are hurting a lot after that collision in the third quarter. What a brilliant pick-up and twist and turn. Handball out by Hill.
Probably the first one-on-one opportunity that Barry Hall has had since quarter time.
16 points the margin. Hudson. Blake. Now Graham. Wobbles a torpedo high towards Revolt, who's third man up. Got hands to it. Couldn't complete the markers. First to recover, though, off to Kazitsky. Now to Goddard. St Kilda a big chance here. Milne can run into an open goal. Can he gather? He does from just outside 50. Kicks to Revolt, who works so hard, Rob, to run hard back inside, attacking 50. He'll kick from 40.
No, you're right. Yeah, great call. Have a look at this. That's in the centre square. That's just about the centre of the ground. Gets it across to Kazitsky. He gets the handball on. Nick Revolt has just bolted. You can see him in the background, just sprinting forward. He's run a good 65, 70 metres to get there, and that's the reward for running. Well done.
And his opponent, Dale Morris, is an elite runner, and he can't keep up with Nick Revolt.
Just trying to compose himself here. Deep breaths so he can convert this opportunity. It's swinging back. It's a goal.
Doesn't necessarily come naturally. And for banking, it's no different. But at NAB, we've been making changes. Fees abolished, service improved, a sense of fairness. More give, less take.
And whilst Nick Revolt's kicked his fourth goal, Stephen Milne should be congratulated, because Stephen Milne 2 years ago would have bombed away from 50 metres out, gone for the glory. He's just had the vision to pull his kick and set his skipper up.
Nice tap from Hudson over to Boyd, but couldn't get boot to ball. Soccer off the ground by King. Chases on the 222s, Addison and Ray. On the bottom of all that is Picken. Is he going to be pinged? Yes.
And again, Luke, you're right. The Saints won't give up, and the challenge has gone back to the Bulldogs. Will they pull their way through this last quarter? They've been challenged a couple of times, the Dogs, and been able to respond.
Montagna, the little give from King. Into the pocket, and Hargrave will get there first. And he's going to switch pockets. And the kick's okay. Running onto it is Williams. That's a nice, long, penetrating kick towards Gilby. Gilbert lost his feet.
Oh, great pickup.
It was a beautiful pickup. Now Hill into the pocket. Hall's all by himself. He takes the mark. He plays on and he kicks his third goal.
That could come back to haunt him.
Monday night on One. For all the football that matters. World Football News. Monday, 10 Eastern. Exclusive to One.
Monday, March 29, the team is back for another hard-hitting AFL season.
That's one of the marks of the century.
Vindication has arrived. 1 week at a time, coming soon, exclusive to One.
Barry Hall kicked the goal. Have a look at this pickup. Brodie Moles, number 44, first year with the Bulldogs, off Geelong's list. Finish was superb, and Barry Hall benefits from that effort by young Moles.
Gee, hard to see how far Zach Dawson was away from Hall. Hard to see how that happened. Minson fighting hard in the centre. Gee, coming through hard was Ray. Boyd tough as well. Del Santo, Geary, only as far as Addison. Ackermanis dodges the Gilbert tackle. Off to Griffin. Now a chance. Here's Wood from 45. Great stuff from Gilbert. Dragged him down. It spills back to Cooney. High towards the goal square. Hall, double fister from Blake to King. Wasn't a great handball to Gwilt, but he was able to pick it up off his bootlaces and deliver. Finds McQualter between half-back and centre.
Good kick. Out to Gilbert, who ran hard, but he's run down. Fierce tackling. That was a great chase from Griffin. Telling tackle as the Saints looked away.
Well, the Bulldogs' tackles have been more than the Saints in this game. None better than that one, and they have to continue the tackling pressure if they're going to win this one.
Cooney to Minson. Towards Wood. It's a shocking handball from Big Will. McAvoy for St Kilda. Gets the handball to Goddard. Gives it over to Jones. Jones hurriedly kicks towards half forward and getting there is Peake. Oh, Milne's run on. Peake just doesn't spot him. So he's going to square it up now.
No, it's going to say Kaczynski won out, needed to get it in quickly. But he kicks
McAvoy
instead to Graham, wide, and McAvoy couldn't take the mark, Rob. Crossing close attendance, Addison providing some assistance as well, but umpire Chamberlain calls for it.
He's actually apologising there, Ray, because he blew it a bit early, Rob.
He did.
I was just thinking, look, we see sometimes you think, for goodness sake, blow the umpire, blow the whistle, umpire. and Ray was just red hot on the whistle.
Boyd, John Siracusa, Griffin, good tackle. Got it though to Ackermanis. Moles kept his feet, well done. Off to Cross, they've somehow worked it around the outer wing. Murphy, now a chance for Hill, the brilliant Josh Hill. What can he muster up here from 45? Kicks beautifully to Higgins, and Higgins will mark 30 metres from goal directly in front.
Moles again featured in that forward move. Just the strength of him, we see it there. Strong-bodied player, didn't cough the footy up. And again, good play by Hill. Could have blazed away, instead set his young teammate up for a shot at goal.
Well, margin 16 points. Still plenty of time left for St Kilda, but this is going to make it difficult if he can convert this opportunity. Should kick it. And does.
Buy now, pay later. 500 days interest-free now at Harvey Norman. That's no deposit, no interest, no repayments till July 2011. But hurry, offer ends this weekend. Get what you want now. New TVs, home theatre, kitchen and laundry appliances, new laptops, phones, cameras and mobile technology, new carpets and flooring, new furniture, bedding and bedroom furniture. Buy now, pay later. 500 days interest-free. No deposit, no interest, no repayments till 2011. Don't miss out. Offer ends this weekend. Go Harvey Norman now.
Go! Mitch Hahn looks like, I'd say, he's being taken to hospital. He is. There's the ambulance waiting. So he's in a bad way, Mitch Hahn. He's off to hospital for X-rays and what we suspect may be a fractured cheekbone. Not what we want to see. It's the Bulldogs by 22 points. Soccer off the ground by Gian Syracuse. Wins about 10 or 15 metres for his team.
It was a good play by Gian Syracuse. He had a couple of Saints on his hammer and had the good sense to just soccer it out of play, not give away a free kick for deliberate.
Hudson, the tap, went straight to Jones. Kazitsky had a very quiet night.
Just had the 6 possessions and a goal, Justin Kazitsky. And mentioned a couple of times, he's a sort of player that really takes a while just to get his touch and his confidence and a feel for the game. And tonight he hasn't had much of that going for him at all.
Ball at the base of the pack, not coming out at the moment. Umpire letting it go. Hudson shovels it towards the line. Cooney can't control it. Boundary throw in on centre wing.
Agree with what you said before. Barry Hall comes back onto the ground, Rob. When Justin Kazitsky's down, if you could just go now and have 5 minutes for the ruck, get hold of the footy, crash into a few bodies, get your confidence up and then go forward.
Get the blood running.
Hudson jams it on the boot towards half forward. The only player there is Geary. And he marks. So 22 points the deficit for the Saints. Still plenty of time, but need to get a hurry on. Blake.
Stay there.
Goes short to Gwilt.
Play on. Chain back. Ready.
And across to Dawson. Still inside defensive 50. Chips it to Jones. They're maintaining possession.
Here, mate.
Trying to find a way forward. Back to Dawson.
You've got to give credit to the Bulldogs for this, because they just can't find clear players upfield, so they're going sideways. A lot of lateral movement of the ball. Clock ticks by. Bulldogs players man them up. So this sort of football here is a credit to the doggies.
Ray back to Dawson. Ray had to take a very good mark and did. Dawson back to Ray. In fact, he let it go for his teammate Goddard. He couldn't control it. Now a turnover. Here's Cooney. Deep inside attacking 50. Higgins has got to beat a couple. Dawson did well going back with the flight. Miles, handball into the path of Jones. Well done, Jones. Paddled it to his own advantage. Kept his feet and then delivers. Oh, wasn't the best of kicks on that occasion, although it's a free kick. In fact, it's coming to Addison against Gartner. And a Bulldog free kick, the attacking side of the wing. Here's the free kick. High from Gartner on Addison.
One of those players, Dylan Addison, that his teammates love. They love him out there. Not the most skilled player, but always brave, always gives a contest.
Long ball in the Hall direction. 3 up against him. He's got the free.
How many times have you seen 2 and 3 opposition players go against Barry Hall? And you've just got to be opportunities at ground level for Bulldog players.
I think Rodney will show this video clip, and there's about 5 or 6 others, as you said, Rob, and say, Barry, that's all we need from you. Provide that contest, bring it to ground. He's done that really well tonight.
So Barry Hall, he's kicked 3 goals. This will just about seal the deal.
Gee, see that muscle.
Give and take doesn't necessarily come naturally. And for banking, it's no different. But at NAB, we've been making changes. Fees abolished, service improved, a sense of fairness. More give, less take.
This is for you, Robert.
Yeah, you love this, Rob.
That's impressive. That is impressive. There's a lot of push-ups there.
Fair contrast between that and our own Mark Howard on the boundary line.
You still with us, Howie, down there? He's just running for his microphone, I reckon. McAvoy wins it out. Montagna.
It's me.
High towards half forward. Harbrow. Everett has been good. Cross. Harbrow made that back pocket his own in this Western Bulldog outfit. Hudson.
Oh.
A little scraggy old kick. Well done, Gilby. Off to Lake. And he chips it wide. Gian Syracuse. Howie, you're down there.
I am indeed. I've just been down to see the doc with Mitch Hahn. He's been loaded in the ambulance off to the Epworth, and the doc said he has got a crack in the face, is what he said, a crack in the face. So he looks like he's got a fracture, quite possibly in the cheekbone, and by gee, being laid into the ambulance, he looked in a world of pain. So not good news at all for the Bulldogs and Mitch Hahn.
Harbrow. Over now to Moles. Long ball again inside 50. Hall almost had it. Lays the big crunching tackle. Ball spills out the back of the pack. Pazza has another go at it. He's throwing his weight around. Ball's still alive. Montagna to Schneider, to Blake. Now towards Goddard, but that's a good mark taken by Morris.
You see Barry's eyes light up, can't you? When there's a chance to try and inflict some pain on the opposition or lay a tackle, he just zeroes in. His defensive efforts and his tackling and chasing pressure has been sensational as well. And the exciting part is, 33 years of age, he looks athletic, looks as though he's got his lateral movement going well, and
he's got big muscles.
Yes,
he has. The Doggies have got two ruckmen on for the first time tonight. Minson and Hudson both on the field.
Murphy's been pinged for holding the ball. Saints have got to get things going quickly. Losing a handle on it is Smith. Dogs get it back. Kick into the corridor. Uncontested mark to Everett. Off to Moles. Back to Everett inside 50. Hall. Handing out the advice all night has been the bustler.
Scary part is
kick 4.
If he had been left alone one-on-one with Zach Dawson tonight, he probably would have kicked 8 or 9, because every time he's had a chance, he's been too big, he's been too strong, too aggressive and too good.
This for number 5 and his 15th goal in 3 games in the NAB Cup.
Do you think it was a good move getting him?
I know it's been spoken about. It's just what they needed.
Hall for number 5. Dogs are home.
Hair loss is a medical condition, and Ashley and Martin treat it that way. A doctor who specialises in hair loss will diagnose your specific problem, and a personalised medical treatment is then prescribed. So call today and enjoy the confidence tomorrow.
For a short time, buy any Panasonic Viera Full HD Plasma TV and claim a bonus Blu-ray player and 6-month Quick Flicks voucher. But with only a limited number available, you'd better hurry. Terms and conditions apply.
I just love the fact. Oh, there's number 28 on the face.
There we go.
And why wouldn't you?
Oh.
I just love the fact that they're playing Barry Hall close to goals.
Minson wide of the pack, cross. Oh, just lost the handle there. Well done, John Siracusa. Trying to get it back to Cross, who paddles forward. Cooney couldn't quite pick it up first time, could second. Everett at close quarters to Minson, who hacks it out of midair. Wide towards Wood. Gwilt applying the pressure and does very well, James Gwilt. Found the footy. Off to Blake, now Graham. So chance here for St Kilda from centre wing, he kicks inboard. Mark taken by McWalter. Back to Graham, who chips it towards Revolt. Williams his opponent. Handball back to Goddard. Now here's a chance for Gartner. Can he pick the footy up and kick a goal? Graham soccers and kicks a goal.
Brute Max, performance antiperspirant. Brute, still brutally male.
Significant night tonight for the Western Bulldogs. Haven't won a trophy of any sort for 40 years, going back to the night premiership in 1970. Only the one premiership in their history in 1954, and all of a sudden the expectation, record membership, a full list. Sure, there's a lot of people that have supported the red, white and blue for a long period of time will be excited tonight, and also a full strength St Kilda side. They're going to have a big win against them tonight.
Everett. It's a long bomb deep into the goal square. Here's a chance for Hill. Bit of Wayne Rooney stuff there. Hall again, he's got 5. He screws it around the body. Barry Hall across the face.
I tell you
and
what,
we'll have a throw in.
Will Rodney Eade be impressed with Hill's effort there, Luke?
No.
No, I reckon he might get a message and say, don't get ahead of yourself, son.
Jeez, it would have been good if he put it through, though.
Don't hold. Don't hold.
That's showtime. Come on, Rob. Good crowd, 42,500 almost.
Fantastic crowd, isn't it? 42. That's great.
Dawson's run down by Cooney.
Now, there's no attempt there.
And we'll have
absolutely. I know there was no prior opportunity, but he didn't make any attempt to get rid of it. Should have been penalised. Bulldogs deep into attack. Hudson versus McAvoy. Hudson kicked out by Ray. Chance for Boyd. Good handball. Moles feeds it back. Intended target was Gilby over his head. Goddard was interfered with. No free kick. Harbrow. Cross. Boyd. Now Williams, who's done some very nice things tonight. Tom Williams, and finds Barry Hall with a spearing kick. And Hall can go back now from 45 and kick goal number 6.
And as he lines up, about 6 Bulldogs go to Tommy Williams and say, well done, son. Good pass.
There's the Western Bulldogs draw to start the year. Collingwood, Richmond, the Hawks, and then the Brisbane Lions at the Gabba. And you can also see Brad Johnson there in the background, who'll be hoping to be back by about round 2.
Here's Big Barry, kicks goal number 6.
I was about 11 when I first started thinking of winning my first Grand Prix, and I've been honoured and proud to represent Australia.
There's Mark Webber. Red Bull have done it. A 1-2.
Australians love their sport, and they particularly like sport when someone's doing well.
And now it's going to be victory for Mark Webber. His first in Formula 1.
To become world champion, it's certainly not impossible.
Mercedes presents Formula 1 Bahrain qualifying tonight live on 1.
Here's the Saints' start to the season. Swans, Roos, Magpies and Dockers. 34 points is the lead to the Bulldogs in front of an excellent crowd, as we said, of almost 42,500 people. King the tap went to Cross, who gave it to Minson. And Gwilt, who's battled his heart out all night, couldn't quite take the mark. Moles. Intercepted though by Jones, and that's a free kick to Smith for a high tackle. Advantage paid. Kick to half forward, Kazitsky. And a very quiet night. Williams, well done. Over to Jan Siracusa, who's acting skipper tonight. Goes for the torp. Hall in front. Will he kick number 7?
Spiral torpedo, hit him on the chest.
So Barry Hall.
This would seal the Michael Tuck medal, surely, Rob.
I think he's already got it.
This will be interesting to see under fatigue, because he's played as much game time as he has in any of the games in the NAB Cup. So has he still got the long bomb from about 52 in him?
A man in his 15th season of football for number 7.
He has.
Bang! Goal!
You know, some people are suited to a football club. And I think this fella is a perfect fit for the Bulldogs.
5 goals in the last quarter he's kicked.
Gee, it's amazing, isn't it? He just looks like he belongs there. He looks happy. Why wouldn't you be, with the talent that's going to kick the ball his way? And I think we all thought at the end of last year that his career was over, and it had finished on a sad note, because his last half dozen games for Sydney, they were quite tragic, actually, the way that he was playing, the way he was undisciplined, the reports that he was getting himself involved in. It's a credit to Barry Hall, and it's a credit to the people at the Western Bulldogs that they've been able to get him up like this, and in the last month he's just been a revelation.
Minson the tap, King couldn't snaffle it, picked up by Jones. High ball to the 50, Baker couldn't mark. Soccer off the ground by Gilby. Graham leads the race for the ball and ends up winning it. Handball backwards. Now Gwilt to Ray. Over the top to Gilbert. kick intercepted by Cooney. Fires out the handball to Gilby. And now the Dogs get it. Midfield, no, they don't. It's marked by Milne.
Wide to Graham, who kicks it low towards the target of Milne. Harbrow was brilliant. And a boundary throw. Rob, have they ticked that box with belief alongside it tonight, the Western Bulldogs?
Absolutely. Great big tick. They've been terrific. That's been a good contest, these two. Harbrow, who I really rate, and Stephen Milne, who's been in very, very good form. But you'd have to say Harbrow's taken the honours tonight.
Graham runs through the middle of the pack, finds the football, snap around the body. Kazitsky, well done, Lake, who's been a tower of strength all evening. Handball wasn't great, though. Chance for Armitage, trying to get the handball out. Now it comes back to Lake, and that's it. The Western Bulldogs, some silverware at last. After 40 years, they've won the NAB Cup of 2010.
It's not the big one, but it'll do for the time being.
Well, Barry Hall, you'd have to be pinching yourself, wouldn't you? 6 months ago, you didn't know if you're going to get a game. You've had a great pre-season. You've kicked 7-5 in the last quarter, and you've won the night premiership. You must be pinching yourself.
Yeah, look, it's all gone to plan, I guess. I never thought I'd be here, 6 months ago. So, look, as you said, I'm pinching myself. It's I'm lucky to be involved in a great group, and the service I get, I can't ask for any more.
That service is incredible, isn't it? They're playing you deep in the forward line, and that big chest is getting a pounding from the pill.
Yeah, it is, and the guys up the ground, they're doing all the hard work, and it's my job to finish. So, my job to kick straight, which I am at the moment. So,
I don't know if you heard it, but around the stadium as you really hit top gear, they were calling out Barry like they used to call Lily at the MCG. They're really taking on board these Bulldog supporters, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a bit of a change from the Collingwood cheer squad. It's Barry the Wanker, so they've cut out the wanker bit, thank God.
Is it nice that you're now being called Big Barry rather than Big Bad Barry? Are you enjoying your time in Melbourne? It's another crack, I guess.
Yeah, look, I'm enjoying my footy, and as I said, I can't thank the guys enough, and the footy club for giving me a chance to do that. So if I can repay them a little bit, I'll be more than willing.
I believe you're on 1 week at a time this week. There's a few blokes said it might not work. You might just have to have a couple of chats to blokes on that panel and just say it's going all right so far.
Yeah, I'll make sure I let them know, mate. Don't worry about that.
Congratulations, mate. Well played.
Good on you guys. Cheers.
I tell you what, you got physical with Barry there, Howie. I don't know if it was a smart. Just for a second, he gave him a bit of a look, Barry.
He gave him a clip, Howie. He gave Barry a clip on the chest. I can't believe it. He's lucky he's still alive. He's lucky he's still alive after 2 weeks in India for a start.
17 goals in 3 matches as we go back down to Howie. He's now got Jason Ackermanis with him.
Hi. He's that big? Yes, I was a little bit concerned about tapping him, but he's all right, the big fella. Acker, you've been through it all before with the Lions. It's only to the start of the season, but it's a perfect start, mate.
Yes, Howie, signs are good. I mean, the boys, the pressure, intensity, it's been there from the start. And it's not so much that we win the games, it's how we win them. It's more important. And, the big bloke up forward, always kicking goals. I mean, we've got a good mix now.
The supporters, you guys, I know it's all about round one, but the supporters out here in the grandstand, it's been a fair old spell. It means a lot.
Long time for these guys. But, look, this is pre-season. We are wrapped, let's not get around the bush here. Beat around the bush, they should be. For the guys, it's just rewards for enormous pre-season. We know we've got the run in our legs. We've done the work. So, so far so good.
Whose entrance into the club was bigger, yours or Barry's?
Well, I was the first one to come, so of course I was. But Baz, he's just sort of put the icing on the cake of a great group at the moment. And, if he stays healthy, we're going to be a force. So, 33, who cares how old you are? It's what you do, and he's been as good as anyone.
Best of luck for round one, mate.
Thanks, man. I'll see you there.
No handstand from Acker, Luke, I don't think.
Not required the handstand at the Whitten Oval quarters. Players decided they thought that was maybe something that was outside the team, but he can do whatever he likes at the moment because he's been great, Jason Ackermanis, over the pre-season. So is the big man there, Big Barrick.
They got challenged several times, came back each one.
So let's go down now to Craig Willis once again.
Gentlemen, firstly, let's acknowledge the performance of St Kilda tonight. It wasn't their night, but I'm sure a big 2010 beckons for them. I'd like to invite the captain, Nick Revolt, to the podium to say a few words.
Congratulations to the Bulldogs and their loyal supporters. We've got a healthy respect for you guys, and no doubt we'll see you again later in the year, so thanks for a terrific game. To our supporters, thanks for your support. We'll see you at the Family Day tomorrow, and thanks to the NAB for their continued support of the game. They're a magnificent sponsor, so we hope their support continues, so thanks to the NAB. Thanks.
Thanks, Nick. I look forward to seeing you and the Saints in action in round one. Now it gives me a great deal of pleasure to invite former Hawthorn champion and AFL Games record holder Michael Tuck to present the medal named in his honour to the player adjudged best on ground in tonight's NAB Cup Grand Final. The winner of the Michael Tuck medal is...
Good evening. The winner of the medal tonight is Barry Hall.
First of all, thank you. Look, I'd just like to really thank the football club. The football club having a bit of faith in me. You know, 6 months ago I nearly got away from playing, so I'm forever indebted to the Bulldogs for giving me a chance. I hope I can replay them during the year. You know, this means a lot, but you know, it's during the year that we're really serious about. So. Membership, fans, get behind us. We want a good year. Thanks.
Barry Hall, winner of the Michael Tuck medal. Well, NAB has been a wonderful and outstanding sponsor of the matches played throughout the length and breadth of Australia. And I'd like to now invite the NAB State General Manager for Victoria, Kevin Potter, to say a few words, and with him is the cup.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, on behalf of everyone at NAB, to congratulate and present the 2010 NAB Cup to the Western Bulldogs.
Firstly, I'd just like to say thanks to St Kilda. I'm sure we'll see each other during the year. Thank NAB for the fantastic competition. Thanks to Mission and WorkSafe, our sponsors. To our boys, well done, and we look forward to a big season this year. And to all our members out there, thanks for joining up, and for the ones that haven't, get on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, the champions in the NAB Cup for 2010, the Western Bulldogs with their coach Rodney Eade, captain tonight Daniel G and Siracusa, and now the charge of the Light Brigade. Come on, fellas, come and enjoy this. It's been a long time in coming.
That has been a long time, 40 years to be exact. As I said, it's not the one that counts, but it'll do for the time being, Rob.
It will, Quarters, and they did it in style, the Bulldogs. I've been very impressed with their football over the last month, and the other thing I'm impressed with, they are really pleased to win this trophy, to win this premiership. Unlike some other teams in years gone by who were just sour pusses when they'd won the Premiership Cup. So well done with the attitude of the Bulldogs. I take my hat off to them.
Hello to Grant Thomas if you are watching. Oh, Luke, you'd be wrapped, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great thing, Quarters, when you haven't had a lot of success. Why not celebrate? They came out here full tilt tonight, tried their absolute heart out. They had their best 18 start. They played their best players on their best matchups. So well done. Wrapped for the group, excited for them. Magnificent start to the season, and well done to St Kilda. These two sides, they'll be right up there in the top 4 this year.
The Bulldogs winning the 2010 NAB Cup against the Saints by 40 points. A break from Etihad Stadium. It's a big year of football coming up on 10.